Hi guys. I picked out a few books from a book collection to show you which ones I think are essential reads. Not the best reads. Well, they're great reads, but not the best reads. But the most, say, educational, the most historically relevant ones, I guess, in a way. Sorry for the way I speak, by the way. I'm not the best talker, and my accent is a North London accent, so we're brought up to speak like this, so please don't diss me. Anyway, these two, I think, Thomas Paine, Rights of Man, Thomas Paine, The Age of Reason, I think these are essential to the understanding of anything. I think you need to read these to construct real good opinions about the world, and rational opinions about the world, and I think this one will teach you more the ethical side, the more tolerant is a better word than ethical, actually. Tolerant word, sorry, tolerant side of you. This will bring that out, and Age of Reason will bring out the more rational, the more scientific, the more enlightenment side of you. But yeah, these are great reads. I would recommend them. It's not a book you would read from start to finish. It's a book that you'd go to the index page and pick the parts you like and read. But I would recommend reading the first at least 10 pages or so. So, The Shock Doctrine by Naomi Klein. It's a great read. It's filled with information. She's done the research in the right places, and it's a must read for our generation, especially. I am 23 years old, and I'm in the brink of becoming well, not me personally, but my generation is the next generation that we run in shit, you know what I mean? So they need to be reading books like this to change things for the better, especially the economy. But I'm not saying you should agree with this. You could completely disagree with it, but I think the information and the arguments are still powerful in this book. I would recommend this book to you. I mean, the facts you just can't dispute, and the things that some of the arguments the facts bring out is just indisputable, I would say. So great read. George Orwell. These are the complete novels of George Orwell. Well, not all of them. Homage to Catalonia does actually. No. Homage to Catalonia is not in here, but Animal Farm, Burmese Days, A Clergyman's Daughter, coming up for air. Keep the. I don't know what. I haven't read this one. I don't know what that is. You can read it. Here you go. 1984. George Orwell, there isn't much to say about him because it just speaks for himself. If you're from England, especially, but this goes for everyone, but especially if you're from England and especially if you're from London and you read books and you like books, you've got to, even if you don't read books a lot, I think you should still read George Orwell. It's a must. George Orwell's novels, at least read 1984 and Animal Farm. Read those two. It's a must. I'm telling you, go to your library right now and read it. And let's have that. Howard Zinn, A People's History of the United States. This is probably, no, not probably, it is the best history book of the United States. By probably the best historian of the United States. Maybe not the most intelligent. He certainly was amazingly intelligent, but the most fearless, the most honest, the most rational, the most ethical, and the most moral, I think. And it's a great book by a great historian and a great person. I mean, I read up to about page 117 it was, but I stopped reading it for a while because I was quite busy. I couldn't read books. And now I'm on page 40. No, actually, I'm on this page. I'm on page 49. And even now, it's just such an exciting book. And the part I like about it the most is the beginning, and obviously that's the part I've read. I haven't read nothing else, but I guess the fact that got what I'm trying to say is the fact that I got into this book is because it talks about Native Americans, and I haven't been taught about Native Americans, especially in England, and I feel from talking to Americans and you know watching American TV and so on, not just entertainment, but you know CBS and so on. No one really knows. Or they probably do, but they don't talk about the Native Americans. I think Native Americans, I mean, black people have been suffered from American fascism and terrorism for years. But the way Native Americans suffered is just different. They just got their whole culture. There were 60 million of them. That's the smallest estimate. 60 million, and now there's about 800,000. So you go do the math. And yeah, it's just a great book about how how the ideals were sold for greed, religious fascism, and violence, basically, and the and arrogance and pride. It was all enlightenment, all revolutionary ideas were sold out in American history. Everything you hear about the American history is just jibber jabber. I mean, yes, this President George Washington was this, he was that. I mean, probably the greatest guy amongst all the old presidents were probably Abe Lincoln, which he isn't. He's like what it's 16th president or something. But Thomas Jefferson was alright, but the rest were pure, complete idiots and bullshit artists. I mean, we can't just blame the presidents, but still. But besides that, it's a great book. Please read this if you're interested in world affairs. Thank you.